Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Siberian Data. My name is Edward Chenard. This episode, I will be talking about filter bubbles. Now, filter bubbles are a concept that comes from the personalization space. Filter bubbles are so common in the personalization space that there's an entire book written on the topic. There's a book titled The Filter Bubble by Eli Perzer, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, which goes into depth on the topic. Today, I will be covering just a few points on filter bubbles and why they are important. Any of us that uses social media today are exposed to filter bubbles. These filter bubbles are so prevalent that most of us don't even notice them anymore. Companies like Apple, Facebook, Google, and many others such as Amazon use filter bubbles to keep customers in their ecosystems more than they would without filter bubbles. Essentially, what a filter bubble does is it creates a digital world around you that reinforces what is believed by you and your own belief system, at least to the extent that the company can perceive your belief system. This is often done by looking at your search history, by looking at things that you like, and what your comments are that you posted online. That's often how a filter bubble gets created. So if you're not posting about a particular topic, then of course a bubble cannot be created. What this means is that if you believe in a certain way of thinking, then the filter bubble will introduce new content to you that helps you affirm the belief that you have. An example of this is, let's say you believe that iPhones are better than Samsung phones. Then you will be given documentation that helps reaffirm your belief. Let's say you believe that Samsung phones are better. Then your filter bubble will give you information that reinforces that belief as well. Of course, the downside to a filter bubble is that they often create content that gives you a narrow perspective on different perspectives on a particular topic. This is why I say there's no point in arguing on the internet with anyone, because no matter what, you are always right. You can always go out and find information that validates what you believe is true. And the more you go out and look for that information, the more you will find that information, and it is reinforced. So what you believe to be true will get validated. That means when you try and debate with someone, you're always going to find information that validates your belief and nothing that actually helps you grow in the form of critical thinking by giving you information that may be counter to what you believe in. Having a more diverse sources of information that helps to give you different perspectives and viewpoints on a particular topic actually helps a person become more well-rounded and better informed about what it is the topic at hand is. This also helps in an e-commerce situation. When I was working at Best Buy, our research often showed that people may look at around 10 websites before making a decision on a product, particularly a high-ticket item. Now, that's not entirely bad, because the more research someone does before making a purchase often correlates with them being more satisfied when they do actually make that purchase. But of course, the idea of a filter bubble is not to allow someone to go around making decisions based off of many sources of information, but only to make their decision based off the information provided at one particular source. Filter bubbles tend to be great for the e-commerce provider, but for the consumer, they actually create a rather negative impact on their purchasing decision. Because at the end of the day, we will feel comfortable with our purchasing decision, but if we're not being given the right choice to make those decisions, then we're not really having the freedom of decision processing. This creates a dilemma because a lot of us do tend to enjoy the personalized experiences we do get when we go online. For example, when we do searches, we don't want to get content from languages we may not actually be able to understand. We would like to get content in languages we do understand. That is a form of personalization and also is by default a filter bubble. This growing belief among many executives and practitioners in the space is that if we do not give them more information, then they, being consumers, will be forced to make a decision quicker and hopefully on our platform. I've never agreed with this approach because limitation has often become, in my opinion, a poor approach to doing business. Technology is there to help broaden the number of options and choices we have available to us, not limit them. This is primarily the problem I have with filter bubbles, is that they really do limit our choices. Content in other languages may be difficult for some technology, but at the end of the day, knowing how people think in China or Germany or some other country on a particular topic is often broadening and helps us become better at making choices and with critical thinking than just only having the opinions of those who speak English or our native language, or may live just in our geographical area and have very similar views we have on a particular experience or topic. The challenge for personalization and technology is often that we have to strike a balance between personalization and giving people an experience that is relevant, along with giving them an experience that is rich in content and not narrowing of the experience. This is a problem that if you look at most e-commerce sites, they have not solved. At the end of the day, most retailers are looking at keeping people trapped on their particular walled garden platform, limiting the choices of consumers. What technology is designed for is to give us freedom, not less freedom. As a provider of services to consumers, we really want to get them to engage with us more on a technology platform, then we have to give them more choices, not less. But we have to provide those choices in a way that is going to help people get their answers and decisions faster than if we created the filter bubbles and walled gardens. Well, that's it for today. If you like this video, subscribe and come back for the next video. Thank you.